Hey Wizards, it is Kimise, and I'm here with Kieran Sinhammer, and we're going to talk about crafting. So guys, crafting, what is crafting and why is it important for you in the game of Wizard101, and why should you be doing it? Well, I'll tell you what, do you want the best gear? Do you want to have cool pieces of equipment for your house? Or do you want to get that one mount that can only be made by crafting? Well, that's why crafting is super important. What we're going to do in this quick tips today is we're going to touch on what is crafting, what you need for crafting, and how to get the most out of crafting. Okay, guys, so this is my wizard, Kieran Sandhammer. He's a balanced wizard, and we are sitting in his crafting room over at his house. So basically, if you want to be a crafter, first off, you got to make sure you buy yourself some housing. Now, right now, we're just using the simple marley bone tenement section, and this works really, really well. It has a nice area down here where we can set all of our crafting benches. Now, crafting can be done on a variety of different things. For instance, this right here is our housing crafting station. So if we're doing things for houses, such as furniture or things like that, this is where we'd make it. Over here is our jewel crafting station. Yes, you can actually craft those jewels that you're attaching to your equipment or your pets. This right here is your card crafting station. You can craft all sorts of cards, treasure cards, etc. This right here is this another card crafting? Oh yeah, the card crafting station, right? This right here is a basic crafting station, the very first crafting station you get, and you usually use for thames and for rings. Over here in the corner, housing crafting station, and right over here is the equipment crafting station for like robes, boots, helmets, etc. So these are the types of stations you're going to need, and depending on what you're crafting, you're going to have to go to one of these particular stations. So again, those are the different things that you can craft. And why do you want to be a master crafter? Well, the best gear is always the crafted gear. Some really good gear, such as Waterworks gear at level 60, is got by going in there and fighting bosses, or the Poseidon gear at level 70, or the Hades gear. Or if you're at level 32, the Zeus gear. But the best gear in the game is always gear that's been crafted. So let's go ahead and talk about where you get recipes. Here we go. So I'm here again, and first off, what is crafting? Crafting is a skill that you develop with your wizard. And to be able to develop yourself as a good crafter, you have to be able to complete crafting quests. And what this does, this raises your badge. And of course, all this starts here with Euphoria Tangletree, who is your first crafting teacher. What she'll do is she'll give you a recipe. Now, recipes come from a variety of different things. Like, for instance, lots of NPCs have different recipes. And for instance, with Miss Tangletree here, you will start off with it's a knife, it's the Dagger of Absolution. That is the first one you will actually craft. And when you're in a crafting screen like this, when you select a recipe, it's going to tell you what type of reagents you're going to need to craft it. That's very, very important. So where do you get recipes? Well, recipes all come from NPCs. Some NPCs will be like Miss Tangletree, and you'll usually find one per world that gives you specific crafting quests for you to raise your crafting to get a new crafting badge. The higher your crafting badge, the more variety of different things you can craft. Very, very important. There are other NPCs, like Calco's Coppersmith here, who you find scattered all around the spiral with really cool recipes. Let's take a look at Calco's here. For instance, he will allow you to make a variety of different mantles, boots, wands, such as these great spears, or mounts. Yes, you can actually craft mounts. I'm trying to do this on a couple of my wizards right now. But for instance, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the Balance Whirlwind. I want one of these, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy the recipe right now. Now, of course, I have to collect a whole variety of different things to be able to craft this, but that's part of what crafting is collecting the correct reagents for whatever you want to craft. So, what are reagents? Reagents are the things that you need to craft. So, for instance, if you go to your crafting tab, and for instance, you'd be in your recipe section, for instance. So for instance, I have the Balance Whirlwind, and we'll use this as an example. If we look at the Balance Whirlwind, you have a variety of different things that you have to collect to craft. For instance, sometimes you got to have treasure cards to craft. Sometimes, on some really big things, you have to have certain fish, like the Balance Cuda. Sometimes you even have to have certain seeds, like the Ultra Trumpet Vine. And sometimes there are some special things called motes that you collect from like key bosses. Most of the time, though, especially in your quest, your crafting items are going to come from one of three types of reagents. Reagents that you can buy at vendors, reagents that you can collect through questing, reagents that you find along the ground and you collect as you pick them up. Okay, so for instance, let's look at our reagents page right here. So first off, we have all reagents, but when we start splitting them up, you've got harvest reagents, such as cattails, black lotuses, kelp, lava lilies, all those things you see all over the world that you should be picking up as you walk by them. Next to that, you have rare harvests. So for instance, if I harvest a black lotus, okay, then I might also, there's a chance I'll get a black pearl off that harvest. If I harvest a kelp, there's also a chance I will get an aether, which is a harvest item that you can find. Some of these are from shops. So for instance, if we talk to there are reagent vendors that will sell us citrines, sapphires, glass vials. These are all buyable very easily. Some can only get from drops, like bones, brass, cobalt, copper. So you have to fight a mob, and then these will be dropped that way. Okay? And there are event reagents now, and there are also spellment reagents, but we're not going to explore these at the moment. So these are your main reagents, and this is what you're primarily going to be needing to do a majority of your crafting. So let's say you want to craft a particular card. So you can go to your card station like this, open up your card station, and it's going to show you all your different recipes. Notice I have a whole bunch of transmute recipes. So for instance, let's say I needed some more aether. Well, for me to create one aether, I've got to have at least 15 kelp. So when I'm ready to craft that, I just got to make sure I have what I need. It'll show you yellow, so you got to have more of what you need. So the left is what you have, and the right is what you need. So I hit create, and boom, I've just created an aether. This works the same way in any type of the different things. Like if I wanted to craft a robe, I can go over here to the equipment crafting station, pick something like the Cloak of Weighty Grief, and notice I got 2 of these that are in red. I don't have enough Slocus Swarm treasure cards, and I don't have enough onyx. So I can go down to the bazaar, and I might be able to find onyx, but I can definitely find them from a reagent salesperson. And then I can also go to the treasure card shop and buy a few more Locust Swarm or the bazaar. Not all reagents can be found at the bazaar, so don't always trust that as a good place to be able to find your reagents. Once I have my reagents, it's just like doing a card. Click on whichever one you're going to craft, then and then the create button will open up and you'll be able to create. You will see right here under activities, crafting, you'll have your crafting badge. So this particular wizard is a legendary artisan. So he can craft almost anything. And I don't think he gets another crafting challenge for quite a while. Now over here though, you also have time slots. You'll notice that you have a little crafting bunch and all these slots. You do have a limit to how many things you can craft at a time. For instance, if you craft too many things, you might have to be in a cooldown period before you can craft the next item. Scattered throughout the spiral are specific crafting places, and some items can only be crafted in these locations. For instance, here in Grizzleheim, we have the Hammer Forge. So to get up here, you just climb up the snow right up here. It comes right up here, and you'll notice that you are at a crafting anvil here in Grizzleheim. For instance, if you want to craft the really nice Winter Tusk gear, which I could show you, but I don't have it on right now, okay? You have to do it up here in Grizzleheim. You can't do it at a regular crafting station. These locations are all throughout the spiral, and such as like in Dragonspire and others, and they do allow you to craft specific gear. Okay, so that's really everything you need to know about crafting. Do know that crafting is a super important skill that will become very, very important, especially as your wizard goes up. So what are some good strategies to be an excellent crafter? Okay, strategy number 1, don't ever walk by a reagent. Make sure you pick it up. If you are always picking up reagents, then when it comes time to craft, you don't have to go searching for very many reagents to craft the item you want. So strategy number 1, always pick up reagents. Strategy number 2, do you have more than one wizard? Another really good strategy is to train one wizard to be the crafter and make sure he gets all the reagents that the other wizards pick up. This allows you to concentrate that skill in one wizard so you don't have to do crafting quests for every wizard. Unfortunately, it does mean that that one wizard has to craft for all your wizards. Strategy number 3. Don't miss out, especially if you're a member, on double reagent collection weekends. This is a really great way to get lots of reagents really fast, especially those that are hard to farm. Final strategy in collecting reagents. Know what to do when farming. So what is farming? Farming is when you pick out a particular place in the spiral that gives you a particular reagent. This could be defeating a certain boss, or this could be just wandering around a certain area of the spiral and picking up reagents. So how can you be effective? Well, there's 2 different ways. So farming reagents. For instance, I'm down here in Crab Alley just off of Triton Avenue. This is a great place to farm stone. Now, when I mean farming stone, that means you can run around this area and you'll often find anywhere from 3 to 4 stones that pop up in the area as you go through it. So what I do is I make a track. I run around the perimeter of Crab Alley once, picking up every stone and often any reagent I see. What this does is this allows me to pack up my backpack with as many reagents as possible. But this is especially a good place for stone because usually you can get anywhere from 3 to 5 stone per pass. Looks like somebody's already been through this before me. Once you've made a complete pass, you'll end up where you started. Go ahead and open up your book, go down to your options menu, go down to the realms area, and you'll notice that you are in a particular realm. Like right now, I happen to be in Realm Ambrose. Look at Ambrose. Ambrose is full. That's a bad sign. Go all the way down to the end of the list. Look at Woo. Go to Woo. There's some kelp. There's a shell. And if we follow our path, whoops. And there's some stone. So if you follow a loop, you'll probably find even more reagents. Keep repeating this process, and you will then eventually have all the stone you need to craft what you're looking for. Some things you farm are only given by certain bosses, so sometimes you'll have to go in and farm a certain particular boss. Keep defeating him until he gives you what you want. This can be true with treasure cards, mob-only drops. So guys, those are some basic strategies on how to get reagents and what you'll have to do to get some. Sometimes the bazaar will have what you have, but don't expect it to. Most of the time the bazaar does not have what you have, or it sells out so quickly it's hard to get. So once again, if you use these strategies, you'll have all you need for crafting, you'll be able to have the best gear in the game, and you'll be able to make really cool things or treasure cards for your house. So this is Kieran Sandhammer, played by Kimise, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for the quick tips. If you like any of this, you can also catch me streaming Wizard101 twice a week, both on Tuesdays and on Saturday mornings. Or if you like any of my other content, I also stream Minecraft on Fridays and Saturdays. Hope you guys have a great day. Leave a like if you liked it. This is Kimise. Bye-bye.